Hey everybody, I am back to keep talking about spinning on your stationary bike. So yesterday, I mentioned that there was a lot of chatter the other night and lots of people asking questions, and I could have talked for a half hour about it. So I just thought I'd hop on today and talk about a couple more topics, including shoes and what's the deal with Peloton. Peloton is so popular right now. Everybody, especially in Michigan and the Midwest, we can't be outside, but we want to work out. So lots of people either got a Peloton for Christmas, or they are getting back on theirs, or they're thinking about buying one. So I do not have a Peloton bike, but I have a couple of friends that do the Peloton. Hi Sherry, and they really like Peloton. I have a couple clients that do it while they travel. So I have gotten a lot of feedback about Peloton. I've heard a lot about it. It's just because I don't have one, I feel like I can speak to a couple things about it. One of the things that I have learned through my relationships with people in the retail industry, exercise retail industry, is the Peloton bike isn't the highest quality bike out there. So that means it may not feel as sturdy as another bike that might actually be selling at the same price point. It might not feel as sturdy on as you're getting on and off of it. The components of it might not be as high quality as another bike of the same price point. With the Peloton bike, you do have to subscribe to their service. There's a lot of exercise things that now do require some type of subscription. So that's not unusual. Recent information I learned about the Peloton bike is they are no longer selling their product to commercial environments, meaning if you go to a resort or a hotel and they have an exercise room, some of these places will have a couple of Peloton bikes. And people love this when they travel because they can stick with their regular workout routine, they can log in as themselves, keep their stats, things like that. And then people like myself who maybe aren't a member of Peloton have an opportunity to be exposed to it, right? Great for Peloton marketing, right? However, they are no longer selling their product in that environment because it just wasn't holding up how it would be expected. So they're breaking down. So that's something that I just learned, and I think that's kind of a newer development. So that tells you a little bit about, oh gosh, depending on how many people in your family are going to use it, that might be a concern. You might want to know that the bike isn't holding up. Now granted, that's happening in a commercial environment or an environment where it's getting a lot of use, and it may not get that much use in your home. So you got to kind of figure that out for yourself. So I always tell people, go try some bikes if you're thinking about buying a bike. You got to get on them and feel the difference. And you will feel a difference between different price point bikes. You'll feel the difference in the components and how smooth it is. So my bike is a spinning bike. It's actually made by Precor. I don't know. It's a good bike, right? It's not going to break down. I knew when I bought it, I'm actually going to use it. So it's a good bike. It's very smooth. The one thing that I wish it had is I wish it would tell me watts, telling me how much power I'm producing. It doesn't tell me that, but that's okay. I've gotten used to it. And I have tried the Peloton streaming service, because you can try it, I think, for 14 days. I really liked it. The music was very, very motivating, very energetic. It was very entertaining. I did enjoy it. The only reason I don't continue that subscription service is it provided so much more than I needed. I just need a little direction while I'm spinning on the bike. I don't need direction when I'm on the treadmill. I don't need a workout, a resistance band workout, or some of the other things that it provides. Hello, I can come up with that on my own, right? That's what I do. So I didn't need all that. And for all of that, I thought it was a little bit expensive. So I've used some other services that I subscribe to, and if you want to get specific about which ones I've tried and used, I'm happy to share that with you. But right now I think I'm paying $8 or $10 a month, and I use it 4 or 5 times a month, so maybe a little bit more. But it's totally worth it. I get on there and I'm told what to do, and it's awesome. So the next thing I want to talk about is shoes. So spinning bikes do come with pedals that you clip into, and sometimes this can be a little bit intimidating, especially if you are going into a studio and everybody has shoes on and you're walking in with your tennis shoes. So just a heads up, that'll probably happen, that you might feel, oh, I don't have shoes and everybody else has shoes. So when you first start doing cycle, don't feel like you need spin shoes. You don't really need spin shoes to start. But if you're gonna do it for a while and you try it out and you like it, then I highly recommend that you get some spin shoes. The advantage of the spin shoes is that you are clipped in, and what it allows you to do is work on not just pushing, but pulling up. So as I shift my focus, I can think about pulling. Like right now I'm pulling more with this leg. I'm pulling up. I'm using my hamstring more. So sometimes instructors will even cue you, hey, think about pulling. Make sure you're pulling up. Use your hamstrings. And when you are clipped in with that spin shoe, you're able to pull up. So it just is a lot more efficient when you're actually clipped into the pedal. And the way that you get out of these, this is always a point of apprehension when you first get those cycle shoes, is it's just a twist. Easy twist. And you'll pop right out. But if you don't have the cycle shoe, then you can just kind of clip in. I'm not clip in, but go into the cage that's up there and tighten that real good. So sometimes when I'm doing a workout that has spinning as part of it, but I'm getting on and off the bike, I'll use those cages because I don't want to be in my spin shoes when I'm running over there to do kettlebell swings, right? So in that case, I'll go ahead and use the cages. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? I think those were my two main things that I wanted to talk about today, was just what's the deal with Peloton. I think I covered that pretty well. People love it. People that do it, they're so motivated, they're so into it. So I think that's awesome. You've got to find something that you like and enjoy. But like I said, there is a subscription service for it that you do have to pay for every month. For me, it was a lot more than I needed, and I didn't want to spend that much money for that. There are other services that you can subscribe to that don't provide as much as that, but are a lot cheaper. And then I just wanted to talk about the shoes. So I think that's it. So I've got a couple more topics I definitely want to talk about. So stay tuned in the group and we'll talk about those more during the week. All right, talk to you later.